With the second to last update, the preparations for Season 3 has officially kicked off, bringing new modes, a ton of collabs, and plenty of reality shenanigans. While the servers were down, Cube Guy finally pulled off his mission and snatched the last 0-point shard from Elite Stronghold. No matter how tough the elites were, they definitely took the L this time. The vault where the last shard was hidden is totally trashed, but if you missed the moment, you can see him absorbing it in the new loading screen. You don't even have to watch an event to get that screen. They're just handing it out as soon as you log in. While Cubehead is practically touching the 0 point and kicking off its inevitable reconstruction, Hope and Jones are finally realizing they're way out of their league. They've been forced to strike a deal with the elites, forming a shaky alliance just to keep the world from falling apart. Meanwhile, Jules is locked in her workshop, grinding away on a secret device she thinks will be the ace up their sleeve to finally turn the tide against Voyager. Hope is definitely going through it right now, as those old visions are starting to creep back in. They're just blurry, fragmented images for now, but she can feel herself starting to see the bigger picture in a way that goes way deeper than anyone else. By the way, if you put on the Kendo skin and talk to her, she'll mention she's still thinking about them and what they had, even wishing they'd had more time together. It looks like that romance plotline is far from over. Even without her visions, Hope is calling it. The Ice King and the Foundation are going to tear each other apart if they don't settle their beef, which is likely exactly what we're going to see go down in the finale. Jones is doing his usual thing, acting all confident, or maybe just hiding how scared he is, and leaning back into that legend title. But he's playing the long game. He knows he needs his old connections and has already reached out to a certain old friend. It really looks like Dr. Sloan is about to make a comeback, and while her methods are always controversial, they definitely get results. Then there's the Ice King, who is absolutely livid. He's not forgiving the Loopers anytime soon for helping his favorite plaything, the Foundation, escape. His thirst for revenge is just adding more chaos to an already critical situation. On top of all that, the news about the Seven is pretty grim, as it sounds like the original scientist and visitor won't be returning. So yeah, keep your eyes on the sky over the island, because Voyager could pop up at any second. Get ready, because the live event prep is officially on. Now, let's check out all the Star Wars content, because it wouldn't be May if Epic didn't bring the heat. Most of you probably know this is all to celebrate the launch of the Star Wars Creative Islands. To build some hype, Epic is adding quests you can finish on those islands to earn rewards like a backbling, a pickaxe, a banner, a spray, and a loading screen. The first of the modes from Epic, and the biggest one yet, is Galactic Siege. This is honestly a total dream come true for fans. I have no idea why Epic didn't do something like this during the Star Wars mini-season, but the scale of it is massive. If every Disney mode looks like this in the future, we're in for something incredible. My only real gripe is that the trailer basically sold us on lightsabers, but I couldn't find them anywhere in the actual mode. Let's just hope they show up later, if they even show up at all. Then there's Vader Escape, which is an asymmetrical game, almost like a horror title. It definitely gives off Dead by Daylight vibes. You basically have to track down all the parts and assemble them to find an artifact and escape, but obviously Darth Vader is there to stop you. This was actually my favorite mode because I love that genre. It's essentially a high-stakes game of hide-and-seek with Vader, so if you're into that, you've definitely got to check it out. The last mode is a tycoon, so if you're a fan of those, that's the place for you. Overall, I've got nothing but positive feedback because I had a total blast. It'll be cool to see these modes evolve with even more interesting maps and mechanics. That said, looking through the library, I already see the typical red versus blue maps just wrapped in a Star Wars skin, so I wouldn't be surprised if Star Wars brain rot content starts popping up soon. Still, my hopes for these Disney modes are officially back alive. Speaking of things making a comeback, the most interesting part of this update is that old Battle Pass skins could actually start reappearing as soon as May 2nd. This is the first concrete date we've had since the Marvel season wrapped up. Just a reminder, Epic told us that 18 months after a pass ends, those skins are fair game for the item shop. We might see the first ones drop this May, though honestly, I don't think it'll happen in the next 2 weeks since we haven't seen any shop-ready leaks just yet. Last year, Fortnite did a Father's Day event with 3 skins, but this year, they're pivoting to Mother's Day. They're bringing in the wives of those same characters, well, minus Cleveland's, so we're looking at Lois Griffin and the moms from the other 2 shows. There's also been some talk about encrypted cel-shaded skins. People thought it was the moms at first, but it might actually be a third wave for the Invincible collab that everyone's been whispering about. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that's what's currently hidden in the files. Now, don't expect this next one in the immediate future, but keep it on your radar for later this month because leakers are swearing an Overwatch collab is coming in May. We even know the lineup: Genji, Mercy, Tracer, and Diva, all based on their Overwatch 2 styles. This probably leaked because of those Porsche vehicle wraps coming in a future update, as that car is one of 4 dropping in both Fortnite and Rocket League soon. Speaking of cars, Formula 1 cars just leaked for both games as well. And for a bit of random but cute news, Remy from Ratatouille is expected to drop as a sidekick on May 14th. As for the loot pool, we're right on the edge of unlocking the reforged Infinity Blade. The latest update confirms you'll have to snag it through a rift anomaly, which honestly sucks. I was really hoping it would just show up at his castle, but instead it's a totally random spawn, kind of like the bosses this season, and I'm not a huge fan of that randomness. Moving back to original Fortnite gear, we're getting a bundle with 2 female skins, 1 Slurp and 1 Fire, packaged with a pickaxe, wrap, and some sneakers. The May Crew skin styles are also out, and they're the usual suspects. Plus, a skin that's been encrypted for a literal eternity finally surfaced in this update. Since it's been tucked away for so long, it might be tied to a bundle or some special challenges. Meanwhile, Daigo is finally getting a standard shop release along with his pickaxe and back bling. And remember that character from the story trailer who looked a bit different? Now that we're past the mid-season mark, that style is officially in-game as a fresh take on a Chapter 2 character. For the pet lovers, there's a new Slurp pet that looks great, plus another realistic one that's actually not bad. Gearheads also have a new station wagon with stickers and a graffiti-style car to look forward to. On the modes front, Reload just added some new islands that'll rotate between Elites, Slurp Rush, and Venture. They're also introducing a new Elite SMG, which is exclusive to Reload for now. Blitz got some minor updates, basically just an image change, and Chapter 4 weapons. But OG mode is where the real hype is because the live event is coming. I'm expecting it to pop off either this weekend or next, so keep an eye on both the main mode and OG. Things are definitely heating up as the transition to Season 3 officially begins. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see where this is headed. Our cube-headed guy is about to put the 0 point back together. Just a quick refresher. The 0 point used to be a single perfect sphere, but right now, it's split into 7 shards, scattered across the Omniverse like a broken mirror. So, what's the catch for Season 3? When the 0 point is active, or starts hitting peak instability, it triggers these massive pulses known as reality waves. Remember the Zero Crisis? Those pulses turned cities into literal jungles in the blink of an eye. Or look back at Season 2, where those waves dropped a snow biome with the Ice King and Squibble Shores right onto the map. But if the 0 point loses total stability, which seems to be exactly what Voyager is gunning for, or if it pops like it did at the end of Chapter 1, we're looking at a total collapse. It turns into a singularity, or a black hole, that sucks in everything like a cosmic vacuum cleaner. That's a game over scenario for the current map, and a hard reboot for reality itself. We still don't know Voyager's endgame, but one thing is clear. Once he completes that sphere, it's going to trigger a massive pulse. The 0 point will become a giant cosmic beacon. It's a beacon that's going to wake up something that should have stayed asleep. Deep in the cosmos, there's a planet that even the oldest beings in the universe are afraid to talk about, Clintar. It's a pulsing, pitch-black ball of symbiotic life. This isn't just a rock, it's a living organism and a prison for Null, the god of darkness and the creator of the symbiotes. In Marvel lore, Null wanted to snuff out every light in the universe like a candle, but his own creations locked him away in the core of their world. Are you guys following me? According to Marvel lore, the King in Black was woken up by light and temporal instability, exactly what a reconstructed or unstable 0 point spits out. If next season is truly symbiote-themed, we are witnessing the beginning of the end. Voyager's actions are going to send a shockwave through the universe that's basically a cosmic alarm clock for Null. When he wakes up, it's a brand new cycle of destruction. A weakened but vengeful Null will start corrupting the creatures, devouring their essences and light. This is likely how we'll get those 6 symbiote mix skins for our original Fortnite heroes. I know Chapter 7 isn't supposed to have mini-seasons, but I've got a gut feeling we're either heading straight to Clintar, or a massive chunk of our island is about to become a symbiotic wasteland. What do you guys think? Is this theory a reach, or are we about to see the craziest plot twist in the game's history? To me, this feels like exactly the kind of shakeup the story needs right now. While the King in Black is still dormant, we've officially hit the midway point of Season 2. Honestly, between the mountain of leaks and the official news we're seeing, I'm convinced the best is yet to come. I'm basing this on multiple leaks and intel that dropped right at the start of Chapter 7. Some leakers spilled the tea on the first 3 seasons, which brings us to the main event. Season 3 is supposedly going all in on a symbiote theme. I got super inspired by this theme and started brainstorming what this battle pass could actually look like, trying to bring some of these concepts to life. First up is the key art you saw in the thumbnail. Let's talk about our boy Tom Holland rocking the symbiote suit and why I'm betting money he's going to be the frontman of the next battle pass. Let's look at the facts. The new movie, Spider-Man Brand New Day, hits theaters this summer on July 31st. That puts it right in the crosshairs of Season 3. Now, I know what you're thinking. Season 3 kicks off June 5th. But hold up. Remember what Epic did with Superman? We got that superhero season dropping in early June, but Soup was the secret skin you couldn't unlock until his movie hit the big screen. I'd bet my bottom dollar it's the exact same playbook here. The second the movie drops, the skin unlocks. Now you might be asking, how does Tom Holland's Spider-Man fit into a symbiote invasion? Well, the rumor mill is spinning like crazy, suggesting the Venom symbiote is going to be a massive deal in Brand New Day. We're talking the official kickoff of the Black Suit saga for the MCU's Peter Parker. That makes me 100% sure we're getting a fresh Tom Holland skin. Maybe even a reactive version, where the symbiote takes over as you get a limbs. I also mocked up a brand new look for the Battle Pass menu. Epic's been talking a big game lately about overhauling the UI and going back to their roots, so I figured, why not? And you already know I had to cook up a concept for a Tobey Maguire skin. Epic has been teasing him in surveys for years. If we're doing a symbiote season, Tobey absolutely needs to hit the item shop, plain and simple. Moving on, it's a total no-brainer that we need a new Punisher skin featuring John Bernthal. He killed it in Daredevil, and he's confirmed for Brand New Day. It makes a ton of sense to drop him in the game right now. Plus, since we still haven't gotten an MCU Daredevil skin, it's about time Epic finally delivered the goods. I also whipped up some designs for different symbiote variants, Anti-Venom, Toxin, Agent Venom. These are absolute must-haves if we're going down the symbiote rabbit hole. And honestly, I'm expecting Epic to drop a ton of Fortnite original skins completely venomized. Let's pivot to the overall theme for a second. I know it sounds a little premature to call it, and leakers can miss the mark, like when they said Chapter 7 Season 1 would be a gala theme, which ended up being more of a Hollywood party. Close, but no cigar. Then they claimed Season 2 was Norse-themed, which only ended up covering half the map. But lately, Epic dropped that bundle with Heil and Thor, and the March crew pack was totally Scandinavian-inspired. It makes me wonder if they just scrapped the Norse season entirely and dumped the assets, or if they're keeping it in their back pocket for later. The same logic applies to Season 3. Right now, the word on the street is just one thing: symbiotes. Even if the leakers are slightly off about a 100% symbiote takeover, we are definitely getting a heavy Marvel season. We might just get a bunch of symbiote skins or those symbiote weapons that just got updated in the game files. Either way, all roads lead to Marvel, which actually connects to another huge discovery I made. Word just broke that Epic and Disney are gearing up to announce a brand new extraction shooter mode this November. This is basically the love child of the massive Disney and Epic deal, dropping in just 7 months. Everyone's been playing guessing games about what it's going to look like. We actually touched on this in my last video. But guys, I think I've cracked the code on the theme. Let me be real, this mode is definitely going to have its own seasonal format. And that first season in November, it's going to be directly tied to the Avengers Doomsday theme. Think about it. We've got leaks pointing to a Road to Doomsday event. With Disney writing the checks and the Avengers movie dropping in December, they are going to want to crank the hype dial to an 11 inside Fortnite. Like I've been saying, this year is going to be an absolute feast for Marvel fans. Of course, right now, this is all just my theory on how it'll play out. But I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on the next season's theme? Which skins are you dying to see? I can totally mock up some more Fortnite original symbiote concepts, so sound off in the comments below if you want to see those. Looking back at Act 3, the lore might be swinging back to the imagined order. The teaser image has the word censored plastered on it, which is the exact same vibe and description used for Dr. Sloan back in the day. Some creators have already gotten an early look at this act, and the hype is real, especially regarding new items. There's one item in particular that's a total game changer because it can literally save you from dying in the storm. We're also looking at old leaks resurfacing, like an ice crossbow and a cannon shotgun. After this act, we'll be staring down the final event, which is bound to be a massive spectacle tied to the Voyager. Every time a mode updates, a piece of the 0 point gets added, and that ship starts hovering closer. It feels like he's finally gathering the fragments for a massive showdown. We are currently standing on the Golden Coast Island that has served as our home for these past several months. But all evidence points to the fact that our time here is strictly limited. The core of this transition lies within the 0 point itself. As many of you have noticed through in-game progression and recent leaks, the cube head known as Voyager is actively working to reassemble the 0 point. History has shown us that whenever the heart of all reality is tampered with, the consequences are catastrophic for the physical terrain of the island. We are likely looking at a complete map overhaul, and data miners have already corroborated that starting from the 3rd season, the game files point toward an entirely different environment. There are no signs of mini-seasons or a temporary OG throwback to Chapter 3. Instead, everything points to a massive shift that mirrors the scale of the Zero Crisis event we witnessed years ago when Agent Jones accidentally destabilized reality. The instability of the 0 point acts as a beacon for cosmic entities, and this brings us to the most significant leak we've seen regarding the theme of the next season. While many theories have missed the mark in the past, the evidence for a massive Marvel crossover, specifically one centered around the King in Black, is becoming impossible to ignore. The rumors suggest that the explosion or rift caused by the 0 point's reassembly will serve as the entry point for the symbiote god known as Knull. We have previously seen hints that the upcoming season would be symbiote-themed, but to understand the stakes, you have to understand who Knull actually is, and why his arrival is a much bigger deal than any previous antagonist. Knull is not just another powerful alien, he is the primordial god of the void who existed long before the Big Bang or the creation of the light itself. In the Marvel mythos, he is the creator of the all-black Necrosword and the progenitor of the entire symbiote race, including well-known characters like Venom and Carnage. Knull's power level is almost beyond comprehension within the context of the Fortnite universe. He is an ancient being who waged war against the Celestials, the literal architects of the universe, and managed to decapitate one of them with a single blow from his sword. This decapitated head eventually became the location known as Nowhere in Marvel lore, which gives you an idea of the scale we are dealing with. Knull represents the living abyss. That got me thinking, what if the latest hints from LEGO Fortnite about the Avengers facing the Nothing are actually hinting that Knull is the Nothing? There is a logical trail of breadcrumbs leading us to this conclusion that goes beyond just leaks. If we look back at the promotional campaign for the current season, Epic Games made several overt references to the upcoming Avengers Doomsday movie. They specifically mentioned will return in Fortnite SHOWDOWN, which are clear nods to the broader Marvel Cinematic Universe trajectory. Epic rarely drops these kinds of specific hints without a long-term payoff. Furthermore, the most glaring fact hiding in plain sight is the current state of the Ice King's collection. If you analyze the prisoners held within the ice, you'll see a very deliberate selection. Every single prisoner is an original Fortnite character, except for one. Captain America is the only collaboration character trapped in that frozen prison. This specific detail is the smoking gun. We saw a very similar tactic used back in Chapter 5 when Magneto appeared on the island as a teaser for the Wanderer, who eventually turned out to be Dr. Doom. By placing Captain America as a prisoner of the Ice King, Fortnite are signaling that he is a central pillar of the upcoming plot.